Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing about the structures in C. So as per the definition, structure is a collection of elements of different data types. I mean to say, let me get back to one particular topic, arrays. So the definition of array is collection of elements of similar data types. For arrays, similar data type. For example, if you are creating integer array, what happens? We can store what? Group of integer numbers. I mean to say, for example, if I am creating integer array like this, okay, what I can store here? I can store group of integer elements, right? So for example, if I am creating a character array, for example, char name of 20 something I am creating. So what I can store here? I can store group of characters, right? Group of characters like this we can store, right? So here, if with the help of arrays we can store only one type of data, but whereas coming to the structures we can store different data types data. For example, I want to store my data. I am the employee. So if I take the example of employee, what are the kind of details I can store? Employee ID, employee name, employee salary. ID is integer type, name is string type, character array type, and salary is float type. So here you observe different data types are there, right? So different data types can be stored, means my data contain information can be stored in different forms. My ID in one type, my name is in one type, my marks or my salary in one type. Like that, I have to store different kinds of data. So all together I can store. I need something to store that. So the solution is structure. So very first let me tell you, the keyword used for creating a structure is struct. Okay. So let me go ahead. This is the example I am showing how to create a structure. Struct keyword followed by structure name. Okay. If it is the structure of student, I am going to write a structure name as student. If it is employee, I will be writing the structure name as employee, right? So what are the details I can store? ID, name, marks. You observe here in the structure, integer type one particular variable I have created, character array type one data type I have one variable I have created, marks which is of another data type. Means here integer, character, float, everything is grouped together. I am putting at one place. That is what I am going to call it as structure. And here whatever you write, all these are said to be the member variables of structure. It's not compulsory that ID, name, marks only I have to write here. I can write as per the requirement. I can add more things. Means for example, I want to store the address, I want to store the marks, I want to store phone number, I want to store gender. Everything you can store here. Whatever the things you can store related to student, all the things can be, all the variables can be created as per the respective data type. Okay, this is the how we need to create the structure. Struct keyword followed by structure name, and you can write any variable with different data type as per the requirement, and the structure to be closed here followed by ending with semicolon. That is what you need to remember. And here one keyword type, that is what you are learning. And you observe here, what you call these three things? Member variables of a structure. You call these three things as a member variables of a structure. Okay. So let me go ahead. Now the question is how to access member variables of a structure. Means these are the ID is their, name is their, marks. I need to enter ID in the variable ID. I need to enter my name, for example student name. Okay, I need a variable name. I need to store the marks of a student. I need a variable marks. All these member variables are created for storing that data. So the question is how to access them. How to access them? My answer is by creating a what? Structure variable. Okay, you just adjust with the spelling here, structure variable it is. Okay. So now let me go ahead. How to create the structure variable? Simple. So as it is, you create the structure at the end before semicolon. You just write down a variable name, any variable name, A, B, C, D, anything you write it. This is said to be the structure variable. And one more way is there. As it is the first line, whatever it is there, the same line you write it here, followed by variable name. This is the one way to create a structure variable, and this is the another way to create a structure variable. Now, by using this, you are going to access the ID name marks. Let us see how we can do this. Okay. So, how we are going to access? We are going to write it in above the main function. We are going to create a structure above the main function. Okay, struct student or something like. We have created a member variables and structure variable is created, and using that a dot id user, just like 25 is stored in the variable id, but for accessing id, what I need? A followed by dot. What is a here? Structure variable. A dot id, a dot, whatever the things you need to access now, by using a only you can access. So let us discuss this with the help of programming example. Okay. So let me start. Very first, let me create the structure struct student. Okay. Now I am going to create what are the details I can store of particular student id int id, right? So now I need to store name also, right? For that I need character array. Okay. So name, variable name is, array name is what I am going to create, 20. Now third one, float marks. Float what? Marks. Now three member variables I have created. I can add, I can create long int phone number, that also I can create as per the requirement. Whatever the details I have to store, let us create the variable for that. Okay. Now as per for simplicity, I am going to create three variables only for understanding. Now I need to access these member variables. How? The answer is, you need to create a structure variable A. Okay, like this also you can create, or in the main function you can write like this, struct student, just write space E. Okay, this is one way, and the another way is like this. Here you observe here, like this. Okay. Now I am going to use this one. Now how I am writing, you just observe. Printf, enter. What are the details I need? ID comma name comma marks. ID name marks. Okay. So scanf, very first what you are going to store? ID, right? That's why let me write down percentage d. Next what you are going to store? Name. For that I need string percentage s. Next marks, which data type is it? Float. So percentage f. Ampersand, can I write like this? Ampersand id. For string no need ampersand. Name comma. For marks can I write like this? Now I am just putting like this and trying to run this program. After that, let me print is this first of all. Percentage d, percentage s, percentage f, comma id, comma name, comma what I am going to write? Marks. So I am trying to write like this and trying to run this code. What is happening? We are getting error. Why? Because from other functions we cannot access the member variables of a structure. ID, name, marks, all these things cannot be accessed without the help of what? Without the help of what? Structure variable. This one. Without the help of what? Structure variable. Now I will be writing a dot id. Now I am writing here a dot name. Now I am writing here a dot marks. Now I am writing here also a dot id, a dot name, and a dot marks. You are storing your id in the variable id only. You are storing your name or student's name in the variable name only. You are storing marks in the variable marks only, member variables only. But to access that, we are taking the help of what? A dot. What is a? Structure variable. Again, what is a? That my simple answer is, how can you access the member variables of a structure? My answer is by using what? Structure variable followed by dot operator. Now let me execute this. Look at enter ID name marks. ID I am writing 121. Name. Let me write down Rohan marks 49.5. Look here, I entered ID, name, marks. You observe here, this data is integer type, this is string, this is what, float. I am able to enter the details. So look at here, 121. Why I am getting this? You observe here. What I have written here, percentage D I have written. That's why it is showing error. Now let me execute one more time. ID 121, name is Rohan, and marks are 49.5. Look at here, 121, Rohan 49.5 marks I am able to display. And you observe here one thing, I am entering the details of only one person. Who is that? Rohan. His ID is 121, his name is Rohan, and his marks are 49.5. Now I want to store the details of second person. Create one more structure variable, comma B. Now look at how I am writing. Enter first student ID, name, marks. Okay. Now the same as it is code I am taking. Now instead of first student, I am writing second student ID, name, marks. But you observe here, for storing the second student ID, I am not using a dot ID. I am not using the support of structure variable A. I am taking the support of what? Structure variable B. That B is now assigned, it means like indirectly, the B is like assigned to the second student. Whatever the data you are entering follow with the help of structure variable B, that will be related to the second student. And whatever the data you are taking with the help of structure variable A, that will be related to that will be related to whom? The first student. Okay. Now just observe here what I am trying to do. I am writing here. Let me put some space, or let me put backslash T. That will be fine. A backslash N. Just to look it properly. That's it. Our explanation is already done. That backslash T, backslash N, backslash N, all these things are for just output clarity. Okay. So now you observe this. What I am doing? I am trying to execute first. It is asking enter first student details. First student ID, name, marks. The same thing it is asking. Means 10th step has run. Okay. Now after that, I will be entering 121, name Rohan, marks 49.5. Look here, I am entering the details of first student, which is being accessed with the help of structure variable A. Everything written with A only. Why? Because that A is assigned to the first student. ID, name, marks, all are getting stored with the help of A. Means that is related to the first student. For storing the second student details, I need one more structure variable. Look at here. Oh, one thing we need to update: A dot ID, A dot name, A dot name. Sorry for that. Now let me execute one more time. Okay, it is asking enter first student ID, name, marks. Let me enter one more time. 121, Rohan, marks 49.5. Okay, these things I am able to enter here. I am able to enter here by using this one. Now look at, I am able to enter A related to A. Means I have entered all the details of ID, like ID, name, marks related to one student, and the structure variable being means each structure variable related to one particular student. Okay, assigned something like A dot ID, A dot name, all are with A only. Means Rohan's details are associated with the structure variable A, his ID, name, marks. Now I am able to print it, and see here what I am printing. A dot ID, A dot name, A dot marks I am printing. That's why A related data I am able to print. 121, Rohan 49.1. And now here you observe, it is asking enter second student details. So enter second student details. And look at here, this message is we are getting only because 13th step is getting executed. Now again I am entering one more student, 122. His name is Mohan and his marks are 50. Okay, marks are 50. And look at, observe here structure variable is B. Okay, I'm printing the details with B only. Now I'm pressing enter. Just look at here, the details of first student getting printed, here the details of second student are getting printed. And you observe here, for each student storage details I'm using what, each structure variable. For example, by mistake here, by in printed, I'm writing a dot id, a dot name, a dot marks. Now let me execute this program one more time and see what is the output we are going to get. Okay, I first student 121, name Rohan, marks 49.5. I'm able to print. It is asking second student details. Okay, I'm entering 122 and this time I'm entering Mohan and marks are 48.5. I'm pressing enter button and see here we are not able to print the details of second student. Why still I'm able to print the details of first student? Where is the problem? The problem you observe here. Where is the problem? In 15th step, you observe, I am not using a b dot id, b dot name, b dot marks. Instead, I am using a dot id, a dot name, which is I am asking to print the details of first student only. Why? Because first structure variable is associated to first student details. Second student details have entered with the help of which structure variable? B. Now, in order to get the second student details, what I have to get? What I have to write? B dot id, b dot name, and b dot marks. And now let me execute this program one more time. 121, Rohan, marks 49.5. Fine. First student details I am able. Now 122, Mohan, marks 48.5. And see here, this time I am able to print the second student. Like this, you can create as many number of variables as you want. You want to store the details of student. For example, I want to store the details of third student. Now see. And you have to write one more printf, enter third student details, scanf percentage d percentage of, this time c dot id, c dot name, c dot marks. Like that you need to create the structure variables for each student. Now I'll show you. I told you like one more way is there to create the structure variable. Here you can write struct student a comma b. This also acceptable. You see here 121, name Rohan, marks 49.5. 122, Mohan, marks 48.5. I am able to access. Means the second way is also I am showing here how to create the structure variable, how to access the member variables of a structure. I hope you are clear up to here. Right? Look at this code what I have written. I have created a structure student and member variables. In order to create the access the member variables, I have created structure variable. If my structure variable is stu, here what I have to write? Stu only I have to write. That also you remember. Okay. Now you just look at the code what I have done. Enter first details, a dot id, a dot name, a dot marks, b dot id, b dot name, b dot marks, like that. Okay. So for example, here I have created, I want, suppose assume that I want to create the details of group of students, 100 students. Can I create 100 variables like this? A comma, B comma, C comma, D comma, E comma, F comma, G comma, like that. How many variables I have to create for storing 100 student details? I cannot create 100 structure variables. Instead, I can create structure array. Instead, what I can create here? Structure array, like this. Okay, as of now, I am writing array size 5. Means I want to store the details of 5 students only. Okay. Now, look at here. If array is there, now what I need? For loop is needed. Okay, look at this code. I am going to simplify. I am going to simplify this code much. For storing 100 student details also, the code will be easy. Okay. Now see, for I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. This is the code you need to write for storing the details. Why? Because as you are entering, I need to enter the details repeatedly. That's why you need for loop. Instead of enter student first student details, let me write down here, enter student details. Okay, enter student id, name, marks, like that. Here instead of a, this is the only thing you need to stress out. Instead of a, you need to write what? A of I. Here also a of I. Here is also a of I. What happens now is, I have created how many structure variables here? What I have created is structure array here. It means that I have created totally how many structure variables? 5 structure variables. First structure variable name is a of 0. Second structure variable is a of 1. Third structure variable is a of 2. Fourth structure variable is a of 3, just like arrays. Okay. Fifth structure variable is a of 1. Means these variables, these 5 variables are being used. That's why for accessing them, I have taken the support of for loop. In the similar way, I want to display the details. You observe here, just copy this and paste it here. Now you observe how I am going to create. I am going to remove here. After that, I am writing ID, name, marks. I am putting backslash t here for getting proper output. And instead here instead of scanf, just write down printf. Okay, so let me write down here printf. Okay, here also I am putting backslash t, backslash n, ampersand I am removing, like this. Okay, remaining code is same. Now see here, enter student id, name, marks. 121 Rohan 45.5, first details entered. 122 Mohan 46.5. 123 Sohan 47.5. 124 any name, Srujan 48.5. So totally how many student details I have entered? 121, 122, 123, 124, 4 details. Now again it will be asking 125 Sindhu, I'm taking the name, okay, 49.5. So look at here, I have entered the details of 5 students, 5 ID numbers, 5 names, 5 marks. Now I want to display them. Look at here, I have displayed the details of all 5 students here, like this. Now I have to enter the details of 100 students. There is no need to change the length of the code. Just write down, instead of 5, write down 100. Here is the less than 5. Write down less than 100. That's it. Over. Now I will be able to enter the details of how many students? 100 students I can enter. Okay. So I will show you the code once again. Okay. So this is how we can create the structure array. I'll show you the result once again. ID 121, name Rohan, marks 45.5. Second student is 122 Mohan 46.5. 123 Sohan 47.5. 124 Srujan 48.5. 125 what is the name I have taken? Sindhu 49.5. Same 5 student details I have entered and I am able to. For getting the result in this format, I am using backslash t's here. Backslash t. And after second details printing in the next line, now to get in the next, I have used backslash. So this is the way how I am. These are the things backslash t and backslash n I am using only to get the correct proper result. If you are not using them, also not an issue. Just make sure about scanf and printf how you are using. Okay, guys, hope you understood what structure is. So if you are able to work on this, then it will be easy for you to understand the structures. Okay, so this is what structures I have, very first definition I have discussed, and I have what are member variables of a structure, that's what I have discussed. After that, how to access them by using a structure variable, I have discussed that. and after that I have discussed with the help of example programs. Okay guys, hope you understood what structures is. Thank you.